So, one of the most deadly tornadoes in recent memory ripped across Missouri and Kentucky and Virginia, and I've heard different numbers from 28 to over 30 people have died during this, and it's pretty much just been crickets from the Trump administration and not a whole lot of coverage at all on the mainstream media. And I'm sitting here going, do y'all realize that this is happening? I'm really not trying to politicize this moment, and I've tried really hard not to, but it just really pisses me off that Donald Trump is sharing videos of himself, AI generated videos of himself playing Don't Stop Believing on the piano from Journey. He's sharing stuff like that. He's arguing with Bruce Springsteen and with Taylor Swift. He's sharing pictures of himself with a sword, calling himself the slayer of the deep state and calling for Obama to be put on trial and doing all this ridiculous shit, taking a $400 million plane and taking a $80,000 gold necklace from the Middle East. And then a red state that voted overwhelmingly for him gets hit with this devastating tornado, and that's the kind of shit he's doing. So it just goes back to everything that I've ever said, which is he exploits our people. He uses our people to his advantage when he needs to. And then when he no longer needs them, he no longer cares. And I don't really care where you fall on the political side of the argument. I don't care if you support him, don't support him, or don't care one way or the other. I'm not trying to politicize this moment, but that's just some bullshit. And I'm going to call it out as such. And I'm going to call out a lot more bullshit about this whole thing because it's really been coming at us from all sides. And I want to explain to people the way that I see things because Governor Andy Beshear out of Kentucky, he's one of my favorites out there. And he said in a video that I did, and I broke it down, one of his interviews, he talked about how that standing up for people is always the right thing to do. And he talked about how that when you do something, you have to explain to people why that you do something. So that's why that I want to take this moment and explain why that I've done things the way that I've done them. I didn't grow up in London, Kentucky, but it's about an hour and a half north of me. I spent a whole lot of time there. It feels like home. London and Somerset, they definitely feel like home to me because me and my family went there all the time when I was growing up. My dad drove a log truck in that part of the world, knows it inside and out. And my dad drove a truck back before we had Google Maps, so he knows every holler and every road in that part of the world. And we're all very concerned about our friends and our neighbors there. When I was a musician, I played, and I still am a musician, but I'm saying all the years of playing music, I played a lot of music in that part of the world and made so many good friends. And this tattoo that I have of my dragon was done at Quality Custom Tattoos in Somerset, Kentucky, and that tattoo shop is no longer there. So I did what I thought was the right thing to do, and I shared a GoFundMe to help rebuild that shop. And I've been sharing links on my social media to help people because I look at it from the angle of when our neighbors are in need, we put politics aside and we help one another. And so I've been sharing those links because I wanted to help people, and I thought there might be other people that wanted to help too. Yesterday, I went and loaded up the trunk of my car with supplies, and I headed toward London, Kentucky. I didn't make a video out of it. I didn't turn it into content. I didn't want to politicize people's pain. I'm sure that I could have found someone there that was pretty upset and pissed off at Donald Trump, and we could have sat there and flexed about it, but I didn't want to do that. Because a whole lot of people are in pain, a whole lot of people are suffering, and I just wanted to help out because I'm in a place now where I can. And I've always tried to help out when and where I could, but now that I'm in a place where I can help out more, I want to help out more, and I want to be there on the ground helping people, and not just sitting back here making YouTube videos and shouting about it. So I went there, and I was able to help out, and there's so much pain and devastation there that I just wanted other people to know where they could help too. But then I got met with people who I thought were on our side, and they seem to have a problem with it. I got a lot of comments like, well, that's what they voted for. They're a red state. They get what they vote for. First of all, no one voted for a tornado, okay? No one voted for that. Second of all, their politics or the color of the state goes out the window the minute something like this happens. I'm just going to worry about how can we help people. I'm not going to sit around asking questions. I'm not going to sit around waiting for someone else to act. I'm just going to do what I feel is the right thing to do. And I really believe at the end of the day, red state or blue state, that we're still Americans and that we should all put our differences aside and help one another in the time of need. yesterday when I was talking to people, I didn't ask them who they voted for. They didn't ask me who they voted for. That subject never came up. It was like, what can we do now to try to help out? So it was very disappointing to be met with those type of comments, those MAGA type of comments. I thought that we were better than that. I thought that being a liberal and progressive meant that you wanted to see people lifted up and you help people, and that we weren't them. So it's very disappointing to see that type of MAGA response. That's the way they respond to things. And hey, I've made the argument before for everyone that wanted to say, "Well, I'm in a blue state. I'm already paying for it. I ain't giving them shit." Okay, I've made that argument for you before. I've made the argument that, hey, you know what? We don't need to be shitting on these blue states in times like these. We really need them. We can't make it on our own. I've made that argument for you. So I felt like there was really no need to jump in the comments and say shit like that and be like MAGA. And I think back to the fact that when Jimmy Carter passed away, everybody was talking about what a humanitarian he was and what a great guy he was and how that's the type of person that we're supposed to be. And I even said, I'm not a Christian, I'm agnostic, but if I was going to be, Jimmy Carter's the kind of guy that I would pattern myself after, because at 90 years old, he was still out there building houses for people. So if that's the guy that we look to, what do you think Jimmy Carter would be doing? What would Jimmy Carter do in this moment? You think Jimmy Carter would say, well, they're a red state, that's just what they voted for? Do you think he would say, well, just let the blue states take care of it, or I'm already taking care of it? Do you think he would make those arguments? I don't think he would. I think he would be there on the ground the way that Andy Bashir is now, and I think that he would be helping people, and I think that's what we should be doing. Right now, they're bracing for more bad weather, and I just think we need to be there to help our neighbors. And I think there's so much cruelty in this world. There's people who are laughing at people that's lost their homes in a tornado, and there's people that are calling cancer karma. And, I think both those people are equally bad. I don't think that, when I see the people that are, laughing at Joe Biden's situation or trying to turn it into a conspiracy theory, and then I see people turning around and trying to, turn Kentucky into a moment to flex, I think it's just as bad. My problem with all this, and I'm not trying to politicize it, but my problem is that it's just been crickets. I think it's bullshit that you come to a part of the world and you cosplay as coal miners and you pretend to be one of them, and you win them over, and then you just sit back and share AI generated shit and don't say a word about it. I think that's bullshit. That ain't me politicizing it. That's just calling out bullshit when I see it, and I feel like that it is. So I just want everyone to know that I'm always going to be trying to use my platform for the greater good. I'm fortunate enough now to be in a spot where that my voice can reach more people, and I can help more people be aware of things. So there are places that you can go and you can donate, and I've been sharing those on my social media, sharing those on the feeds. For those of you that are in the southeastern Kentucky area, in London, Kentucky area, you can go to Wildcat Harley Davidson. Actually, I was pretty glad to see yesterday when I was there that the whole front of the store is just lined with goods that people are bringing, and there's a lot of things that are needed right now. Tarps more than ever, and so many people have bought tarps in the London area, Somerset area, that they're running out of them. So I will let you know that when I was in Middlesboro, they still had some, and I was able to take some there. But I'm just going to read to you a few of the things that they are in need of. So you could take, emergency and survival supplies like bottled water, non-perishable food, can openers, flashlights, headlamps, things of that nature, batteries, first aid kits, hygiene kits, diapers for both babies and adults. Those are the type of things. Clothing, if you have, new socks and underwear of all sizes, and then gently used or new clothing, seasonally appropriate, of course. Shoes and boots. There's things like buckets and shovels and tools and all the things, cleanup supplies. There's a lot of stuff people need. You can drop that off at the Wildcat Harley Davidson, which is at 575 East Hal Rogers Parkway in London. And then Governor Andy Bashir has created this. I'm going to bring this up on the screen for you. The Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund. Governor Andy Bashir has established the Kentucky Storm Relief Fund to assist those impacted by severe weather systems beginning in 2025. All donations to Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund are tax deductible, and donors will receive a receipt for tax purposes after donating. If you wish to donate to the relief fund, please select the amount and click the donate button below. Now, how can I mail in a donation? If you would like to mail in a donation, please make your check out to the Kentucky State Treasurer. In the memo line, please note the donation is for Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund. Send the check to Public Protection Cabinet, 500 Miro Street, 218 NC, Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. So, folks, you can go there to Kentucky.gov, and I just think Andy Beshear is doing a great job at the moment. And when he was asked about it, he didn't try to politicize it. He took the high road, which he always does, and I admire and respect him for it. I'm not trying to politicize it either, but I am going to call out bullshit when I see it. And it's bullshit that all this pain and suffering is going on while a guy shares AI generated images of himself. I have a feeling if Joe Biden had done that, they were pissed at him over the way he over Asheville, North Carolina, which he was there helping, but they were still pissed off over the way he handled that. So let's hold everybody to the same account, is all I'm saying, and just get out there and help people when and where you can, and understand that in a time like this, it's time to take politics off the table. Don't be flexing at people in moments like this when people are trying to rebuild their homes or people are trying to battle cancer. I'm sorry, that's just not the time to flex at them. And so, my good buddy Mike McGill always says, shout out to Good Guys Cigars, by the way. They always say, it doesn't cost anything to be good to people. It doesn't. So just try to be good to people, treat people good, help out when and where you can. And if you don't want to help out, do us all a favor and keep your mouth shut. How about that? I would really appreciate that. But I thank y'all for your support here on the channel. But more so than ever, get out there and support your neighbors and help them in their time of need, because you never know when it's going to. My mom always says this: when bad things happens in our family, and we're dealing with cancer in my family right now, Mom always says, "Well, it's just our turn." Everyone goes through this. So understand that it might not be your turn right now, but one day it will be. One day you'll be the one in need, and you're going to see those hurtful, hateful comments in the comment section, and you're going to look at people a lot differently. So just try to be better and be there to support your fellow Americans, regardless of what color the state is, and regardless of what the politics are. Let's put that aside when we can, and let's help one another.